Every World Cup squad has fans from within their nation, but there is one group that has admirers from all across the globe. Yes, you guessed it right. That is the Brazilian team, which has lost its last 5 World Cup games, leaving its supporters devastated and distraught. Despite their 5 consecutive defeats, loyal Brazil team supporters have great expectations for their achievements in 2022. In this video, we are going to tell you how Brazil makes it to the World Cup 2022. Let's get started. Brazil, the most successful national team in World Cup history, has 5 wins besides 2nd, 3rd, and 4th place. Brazil won its first World Cup in 1958, then in 1962, 1970, 1994, and then in 2002. Out of 109 matches played by them, they have 79 victories and hence have the overall best performance too. Moreover, it is the only team that has not missed even a single FIFA World Cup edition and has played in all of them. But their performance in the last 5 World Cups was very unexpected. Brazil will try to win their 6th World Cup in the 2022 tournament in Qatar, 20 years after their last victory. The Qatar is ranked 1st in the world by FIFA and have lost once since the start of 2021 in the Copa America final against Argentina. 4 teams made it out of CONMEBOL, and Brazil came out on top with a 14-3 record. They were led in scoring by Neymar's 8 goals. October 2021, Brazil versus Venezuela. The final score in Brazil versus Venezuela is 1-0. In Sao Paulo, the most successful team in World Cup history faced the only South American team that hadn't made it to the tournament yet. Tite started with Richarlison, Roberto Firmino, and Gabriel Jesus up front. Midway through the first half, the Everton star had a golden opportunity that he missed after his teammate Firmino set up the pass. Firmino scored the game-winning goal for Brazil when after Venezuela failed to clear the ball. He finished off a wonderful team move from close range. Brazil became the first regional team to start its Qatar 2022 qualification campaign with 3 straight victories. Brazil versus Ecuador, January 2022. One of the wilder and most incident-filled games of 2022. The South American World Cup qualification season featured Ecuador and Brazil. The final score was 1-1. However, there were 7 cautions, 2 ejections overturned on video review, and 2 penalties against Ecuador that were overturned on review. The draw keeps Brazil unblemished atop South American qualifying, while Ecuador gains another crucial point towards securing the 3rd automatic berth to the Qatar 2022 World Cup. With a 7-point lead and only 3 games left, La Tri appears to have clinched a playoff spot. Brazil versus Paraguay, February 20th, 2022. The Selecao proved its worth with a 4-0 rout of Paraguay in a World Cup qualifier, leaving the field with virtually only 1 squad. Brazil pinned Paraguay back and blasted 4 goals past the visitors with a mix of power, ability, and teamwork that few countries can match. 4 different players scored, and many attackers turned in standout performances. Rafinha of Leeds United was a menace on the right wing, and Vinicius Jr. of Real Madrid was unstoppable on the left. They combined with Matthias Cunha of Atletico Madrid to form a potent attacking 3. After the break, substitutes Anthony Ajax and Rodrigo Real Madrid kept the pressure on and eventually scored for the respective teams. But perhaps the biggest surprise was Felipe Coutinho's brilliant performance in the middle of the field. The new Aston Villa signing did not just ping balls out about the field, but he also scored a sensational goal when he unleashed a screamer from distance that sailed over the goalkeeper's head and under the crossbar. Brazil versus Chile, March 2022. Brazil beat Chile 4-0 at the Maracana Stadium in Rio de Janeiro, led by Neymar and Vinicius. This gave Brazil a 7-point lead over Argentina. Tite's squad was able to score 4 times thanks to the goals from Neymar. Second half, minute 44. Vinicius, second half, minute 46. Coutinho, second half, minute 72. and Richarlison, second half, minute 91. With a perfect 13-0 record, the Scratch Duo Oro will finish the season against Bolivia, a team that has already been eliminated. The Chilean national team, now in 7th place with 19 points, needs a miracle to get into the playoff zone, and they have a chance at that by beating Uruguay. Brazil versus Bolivia, March 2022. Bolivia fought hard but missed several scoring opportunities, allowing Brazil to cruise to a 4-0 victory in La Paz. Richarlison scored twice, and Bruno Guimarães scored his first international goal to cap off a wonderful performance for Brazil and a frustrating night for Bolivia. The previous record of 43 points was set by Argentina's Marcelo Bielsa-led team in 2002. Brazil's 45 points in CONMEBOL World Cup qualifying are a new high, beating out Argentina's 43 points. Brazil, who is flattered by the scoreline, had to work for it, but the Bolivians were unable to capitalize on their opportunities. The match between Brazil and Colombia in the South American qualification round. Brazil qualified as the first South American team for the 2022 FIFA World Cup in Qatar with a stunning 1-0 victory against Colombia in a World Cup qualifier on Thursday in Sao Paulo. On Thursday, Brazil qualified for the 2022 World Cup in Qatar thanks to an impulsive goal from Lucas Paqueta, who scored the game's only goal in a 1-0 victory over Colombia. Brazil had to work hard in its first half, as Colombia played better, but a change in strategy by Coach Tite to an offensive approach paid off, and the Selecao dominated after the interval. Following their loss, Colombia fell out of the 4 automatic qualifying positions in the single South American group, being replaced by Chile following their 3rd straight win, a 1-0 victory over Paraguay on the road. The goal, which came 72 minutes of play, was masterfully choreographed as Marquinhos sent a pass from midfield to Neymar, whose first-time ball found Paqueta, who took an immediate shot while under pressure from 2 defenders and appeared to take Ospina off guard. They won a 1-0 road match against Paraguay thanks to an own goal from goalie Anthony Silva in the 56th minute. The Brazil-Argentina qualifying match. The World Cup qualifying match between Brazil and Argentina has been called off by FIFA. In September, health officials from Brazil walked onto the field right after the game started and said that 4 Argentina players had broken COVID-19 rules, which ended the game. Both teams had already qualified for the World Cup, which will be held in Qatar later this year, but FIFA insisted that the game be moved to next month. Both Brazil's Tite and Argentina's Lionel Scaloni argued that playing the game so close to the start of the World Cup would pose an unacceptable danger of injury and suspension. Group G of the World Cup in Brazil. Group G is a tough draw for Brazil, who are hoping to bring the World Cup back to South America after losing it in 2014. They face Serbia, Switzerland, and Cameroon. The November 28 matchup with Switzerland will bring back memories of their opening day 1-1 tie at Russia 2018. Since Serbia got into Qatar before Portugal and Cristiano Ronaldo, they will be a tough opponent. Cameroon, an African powerhouse with players like Ajax Andre Onana, will be Tite's team's last opponent. They'll face off against the South Americans in the tournament's opening match. So, who will be in the team for the World Cup? The announcement of Brazil's World Cup 2022 team is on the horizon, and Tite moved closer to the final 26 with his choices for June's friendly victories over South Korea and Japan. Dani Alves, who recently left Barcelona after his contract expired, is still in the squad in the hope of playing in the 2022 World Cup. With stars like Neymar, Vinicius Jr., and Fabinho, as well as 2 of the greatest goalkeepers of the Premier League in Alisson and Henderson, Brazil will head to Qatar as one of the favorites. Brazil is a dangerous team in the final third thanks to their talented attackers, but they also play well defensively, allowing only 5 goals in 16 CONMEBOL qualification matches. Tite tells his team to play with a strong midfield as the center of the field and to make good use of the open spaces. Throughout the World Cup's legendary history, no side has ever been more successful than Brazil. Indeed, with 5 titles, they are the most successful men's national soccer team of all time. Let's see what they do this time in the World Cup. This ends the video for today. To learn more about the World Cup, like, share, and subscribe to the channel. See you in the next video.